Salut Legionnaires, Amethine here, and I am back with another video for you all. So, Crimson Desert released recently, and I've been diving into that pretty heavily. And today, I wanted to talk about something that I think is plaguing a lot of people, including myself, until I came to a realization. Okay, so you open up your quest journal, you look at all the quests you've accumulated in just a short time, and then you try to decide which ones to tackle first. Then you stare at your map, you compare distances, you try to figure out the most efficient route, and before long, you're treating Crimson Desert like a checklist. At least that's what I was doing, trying to play the game like it's an MMO. And I think a lot of people are overthinking how to play Crimson Desert. The game got a lot better for me when I stopped trying to optimize every quest, every skill point, every discovery. As soon as I just picked one objective and went, it started feeling less like a chore and more like an adventure or a journey or a game. And what do I mean by overthinking? Checking the map constantly, trying to choose quests based on proximity, wanting to clear things in the quote unquote best order, trying to avoid wasted movement, treating travel like dead time instead of part of the game. Now, I'm not telling you that there's a correct way to play. I'm just saying I fell into a trap, and I think a lot of other people probably are too. Now, at some point, and luckily it was still relatively early in my playthrough, I realized that choosing the closest quest every time or trying to get the best early equipment before I went and did anything wasn't actually making the game better. It was making me stare at menus more and experience the world less. So I realized if I just pick one quest and go, even if it's farther away, the trip itself becomes part of the experience. Now, a good example is when I decided to go after one of the early bounties you can pick up in the starting town after the prologue. A guy named Simon de Monfert, or for my fellow Southerners, Simon de Montfort. That's the bounty's name. So if you track that bounty, you'll notice the target is actually pretty far away. And because of that, I put it off at first because it was so far compared to where all my main quests were. But I got tired of trying to figure out the optimal order of doing things and just said screw it and went after him. And so on the way there, I ran into more side content, side quests, bandit camps, artifacts, new terrain, and I got to see parts of the world that I would have otherwise ignored or at least ignored until much later. I'm also pretty sure that I got to Montfer earlier than the game intended because the area he's in is behind some mountains. The map shows a cave you're supposed to use to get through, but the cave was closed when I got there, so I just climbed over the mountain. Was it tedious? A little, but it was also fun, and I got to practice managing stamina at high altitudes while also trying not to fall to my death. And when I finally found him and tied him up to bring him back to Hernand, that's the starting town after the prologue, I realized I had no idea how to get back. So I had to carry this guy back over the mountains on my shoulder. It turned into this whole ridiculous climbing expedition with a prisoner on my back. And that whole experience wouldn't have happened if I was just trying to optimize my quest order. So, exploring early and often and doing things in a non linear order makes the game actually feel like an adventure instead of a to do list. It's not an MMO, it's just you in the game. So, who are you competing with and why do you need to do everything fast? The world feels more natural when you just pick a direction and go. You don't have to surgically clear icons. When you relax and enjoy the ride, you spend less time deciding and more time playing. Not everything has to be done in perfect order. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying never think about your quest journal. You should absolutely progress the main quest to unlock important mechanics. I'm not saying efficiency is always bad. I'm just saying Crimson Desert feels better when you stop trying to optimize every single step like you're on a progression raid team. What prog team? It's just you. And this doesn't just apply to questing. Just explore. Not every road needs to be pre planned. Not every detour is a waste of time. They usually aren't. You find ruins, treasure, lore, weird characters. Sometimes the unexpected stuff is the best part of the session. And if you don't believe me, you should seriously consider going after Simon de Monfert. Like, go track that bounty down. Because if you don't believe me that there are weird characters in this game, this dude thinks he's a bear. Like, no joke, he actually thinks he's a bear. So, if you're constantly checking the map and trying to route everything perfectly, looking up guides on the best early weapons and armor and recipes and feeling weirdly drained doing it, try this. Pick one thing in your journal and just go. Let the game happen on the way there. I think Crimson Desert gets better the moment you stop trying to play it perfectly. The world opens up more when you let yourself wander, get distracted, and trust that the road to the quest is part of the quest. And that's pretty much it, Legionnaires. That's all I wanted to talk about today. It's pretty short and sweet. And if you've had one of those moments where Crimson Desert suddenly clicked for you, please drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me out. I really appreciate you all watching and listening. And I'll see you in the next one. Amethine out.